Greetings. My benefactor wishes to speak to you about a matter that could affect the fate of our world. If my benefactor wished to discuss details in the open, why send a messenger? The matter is for your ears only. A passenger cabin in the interim suitor down at the docks. Do not tarry.
Stop, citizen.
Do you know how long I've been looking for you?
Welcome, friend. Don't believe my son.
Welcome to Volkogard. All newcomers must check in with Watch Captain Astanya. You'll find her at the docks on the southeast end of the city. The Queen's here in town. Her Royal Guard, the 1st Auradon Marines, require everyone to check in for security purposes.
Greetings to you.
Do you know how long I've been looking for you?
You there. You look capable. I could use some help. If you aren't afraid of a ruthless, dastardly scoundrel. Let me start again. I represent Cyrodiilic Collections, a society dedicated to finding, retrieving, and restoring lost treasures of the Argonians. Our society consists of my sister, myself, and a few associates. We've been preparing an expedition to return the antiquities we've recovered to Murkmire, deep in the heart of Black Marsh. Unfortunately, our competition has become aggressive. One and the same, Margus Darius. He's a looter of history who cares only about profit. He was a member of our society until he stole our research and disappeared. I need you to infiltrate the nearby Outlaws' refuge and find out what Margus is up to. While I've never visited an Outlaws' refuge myself, I have it on good authority that all manner of ne'er-do-wells frequent such places. Scoundrels, black marketeers, and smugglers of ill repute. Just the sort of company that Margus keeps. Talk to a few more connected rapscallions that conduct business down there. I know a few of them by reputation. Look for Grathal, an information broker. Urzashi, an antiquities black marketeer. And Ashundir, a historic treasure smuggler. Margus originally approached us as a friend and benefactor. I honestly thought he wanted to help return the lost Argonian treasures to their rightful owners. He worked with us for a time, but it wasn't long before he revealed his true colors. Margus wants the antiquities for himself. This competition has taken a violent turn. He has a brutal temper and some skill at spellcasting. Makes me fearful for my associates. Anyway, I think Margus is especially interested in pre-Duskfall relics. Duskfall refers to the slow decline of the great Zoxlil civilization. Ages ago, the Argonians built pyramids called Zonmirs, and were much more advanced. Most of our research deals with the more dangerous relics of that period. No, not specifically. But even a hammer can be used for good or ill. Margus seeks one of the pre-Duskfall relics, I'm sure of it. I just need to figure out which one before something terrible occurs. With your help, we can avert a disaster. We're historic investigators. We research and seek out antiquities stolen from the Argonian homeland. When we find them, we return them to Black Marsh. Well, that's the plan. We have a few more items to collect before we make our first journey. Certainly the most important ones. We do need to raise enough gold to finance our operations, though. We'll hold on to a few items to eventually open a museum in Black Marsh. A place where these cultural treasures can be enjoyed by everyone. My sister Falmia became fascinated with Argonian history during our time at the university. When she returned home, her stories intrigued me, and I became interested in the topic as well. I can't wait to join her in Murkmire. As soon as we recover the last of the Argonian antiquities on my list, we'll organize an expedition to that region of Blackmarsh. My sister's gone on ahead to set up a base camp and smooth the way with the locals. We plan to return most items to their rightful owners. We chose Murkmire, since our research suggests the majority of the items on our list originate there. Finding the rightful owners may require additional expeditions in the area, though. I may be new to the Argonian antiquities trade, but Margus and his cronies know me all too well. They'd turn me away or stick a dagger in my back before the door closes behind me. I need someone without any ties to Cyrodiila collections for this. I have other agents that need to be supervised and coordinated. Marcus has already beaten us to a few choice antiquities. I need to make sure that trend doesn't continue. I also have a few leads of my own to follow up on. I'll see you back here.
If you have a letter from the Forge Mother, then you've come to the right place. And we don't even care that you're one of those Nord-loving, lizard-liking, preening like a dark elf, card-carrying members of the Ebonheart Pact. No offense. And here I am, all the way from the icy nethers of Hrothgar, to officially welcome you and transport you to Orsinium. Of course, I'm also supposed to make sure you're willing to do a little hard work. There's no room for shirkers on my wagon. I sent a caravan full of food and supplies to Orsinium. Once there, everything will be distributed to the outlying clans to help them make it through the winter. The caravan's slow. I want you to catch up with it and see it safely to the city. The caravan should have just entered Hrothgar territory. I can take you as far as the entry gates, but you'll have to make it from there on your own. This is important. If those supplies don't reach the city, the smaller clans don't stand a chance. With so many resources diverted to rebuild the city of Orsinium or to fend off Reachman invaders, the smaller clans haven't prepared for the coming winter. For many orcs, the supplies on that caravan could mean the difference between life and death. Well, not me personally, but yes, Orsinium is going to be grander and more magnificent than any previous version of the city. King Kurog has invited artisans and merchants from all over Tamriel to help with the effort, not just adventurers like you. That's the king's beloved mother. The king is too busy waging war and cracking skulls to be bothered with sending invitations. He leaves all the administrative details to the Forge Mother. She's very good at such things. Invaders from the Reach, the Winterborn. They're following a mad warlord named Yorfon Iceheart on some insane quest to take our land. But we're not going to let that happen. We've got something the Reachmen don't. A secret weapon. Our Achater. What's an Achater? The big animal next to me. That's an Achater. Don't you have them around here? Sweet things, really. We use them for all sorts of things. Transportation, pack animals, beasts of burden. They even make delicious cheese. I can't get into too many details because I don't really know myself. I'm sure it has something to do with rebuilding the city of Orsinium, getting the clans in line, and dealing with the Reach invaders. It's kind of hectic in Hrothgar right now. That's complicated. Well, no, not really. Kurog saved Emmerich's arse during Ranser's war, and we do our part for the Alliance. But there's no way we're letting Covenant forces get anywhere near Orsinium. This situation requires a more personal touch. Who sacks Orsinium every time we rebuild it? The Bredons and the Red Guard. Sure, we're allies now, but how long is that going to last? So the king put it in writing. No Breton or Red Guard armies in Hrothgar. Ever. Says so in the treaty.
vessel! Oh, another doting vessel. I simply am the most adored creature in the world, aren't I? But it is my burden to bear. You no doubt want to thank me for this wondrous celebration. Very thoughtful. Thank away! Oh my! An innocence to rival my own. You are so fortunate to learn of the Jester's Festival from someone virtuous as I, and not a cad like Emmerich. Here we put aside decorum to embrace whimsy and mischief. The Festival of Fools is overflowing with all sorts of droll entertainment. You know, pranks and gags and silly games. Uncomplicated peasant things. I do so prefer my thinking uncomplicated. Oh, goody! I'm so glad I've piqued your interest. Now, how best to have you serve your queen? I know! I have the perfect mission for you, my doting vassal. You'll love it almost as much as me. I have decreed happiness, but not all of my kin share my breezy disposition, and it's putting a damper on my festivities. I won't have my fun ruined by these grumpy grumps. I need a champion to enforce my royally mandated cheerfulness. If these treasonous malcontents insist on harboring sticks firmly in their hindquarters, then they can at least have the decency to keep them in bloom! Ha ha! Find the grumps in my domain and pelt them with these enchanted petals until morale improves! I want you to have those grumps in stitches, one way or another! This is a holiday about not taking anything too seriously, even royalty. It comes more naturally to some than others, so we silly celebrators often have to give them a nudge. These holdouts will find it hard to be serious, plastered in flowers. Ha I don't know that there are any true stories behind the Jester's Festival. Some say it happens because Sheogorath turned the whole world mad. Others say it sprung from Myr wanting to know what it's like to live like men. Who really knows? Oh, impersonating? Don't you recognize your perfectly adorable High Lady of Elven Grace? So I am! Some fiendish festival hex, no doubt. Oh, my poor glowing complexion. I suppose I'll just have to make the most of these rippling muscles and incredible tolerance for wine.
dragons in your own homeland. What are you going to do?
This one does not know, but he hopes his family is safe enough.
Traveler, a moment, please.
I have to go. If I'm late again, Malingway threatened to throw me into the cave. I'll talk to you later, Baham.
Why do I even waste my time on you? Pathetic.
When you accept that your race is worthless, then we can use you.
Hello.
You will never be worthy to serve the Thalmor.
Your kind disgusts me. And
I have to go. If I'm late again, Malingway threatened to throw me into the cave.
Welcome, friend.
My champion of cheer returns! Have you vanquished the stubborn seriousness in my land? Ooh, delightful! It's so much nicer to rule a kingdom of happy subjects, don't you think? Well, I'm just exhausted from all this dreadful ruling. Our show will be moving on soon. Perhaps you'd like to continue your mission of merriment as part of our entourage. Oh, just a little jaunt over to Daggerfall for some mischief. Poor Emmerich had such grand plans for today, but his dour queen will surely have something to say about that. I'm certain he'll seek out a champion after we arrive. You should volunteer! That's all for today, champion, but rest assured that your queen will call upon you again tomorrow. Oh, impersonating? Don't you recognize your perfectly adorable High Lady of Elven Grace? So I am! Some fiendish festival hex, no doubt. Oh, my poor glowing complexion. I suppose I'll just have to make the most of these rippling muscles and incredible tolerance for wine. I don't know that there are any true stories behind the Jester's Festival. Some say it happens because Sheogorath turned the whole world mad. Others say it sprung from Myrrh wanting to know what it's like to live like men. Who really knows?
Welcome, friend.
Can you believe it? Dragons in your own homeland. What are you going to do?
This one does not know, but he hopes his family is safe in Riverbook. I suppose I could use an upgrade.
Your neck is most skinny. You must be the celebrant Irene was going on about. I could certainly use some of your acclaimed good cheer. My superstitious queen has confiscated my array of royal magisters. The only illusionary dazzlers fit for a king. I can't impress my subjects with just any common prestidigitation. It would be trivial to whip up more with the right ingredients. There are some, local attractions that should have what I'm looking for, but they're no place for royalty. If you would risk venturing out on my behalf, I'll ensure you play a key role in today's festivities. Good luck finding everything on my list. I don't know that we've ever had a fatality at the Jester's Festival, but if you are the first, I'll make sure your name lives on in appropriate ignominy. My dear Maria clings terribly to her people's mistrust of magic almost as much as her natural severity. And sword. She seems to think that setting off hundreds of flashy magical projections in the city would be a public menace. Silly, isn't it? Now there's a foolish question for the ages. You're getting good at this. There are more inventive originations of the Jester's Festival than flies in Black Marsh, and bred twice as fast. I'd wager it ties closely to the discovery of drinking. You've never seen an illusion dazzler? You're in for a treat. They're the pinnacle of awe-inspiring emanations. Radiant in color, resonant in percussion, slightly malodorous, and only harmful under the most ill-thought-out circumstances. Flaunted by my own queen in front of the other royalty. I can't be the laughingstock in my own kingdom. Aha! The day is saved! No one will question who wears the crown in my court after this. I promised you a key role in the festivities today, and I am a man of my word. I hereby entrust you with the honor of putting my royal prowess on display. Take my illusion dazzlers to some suitably crowded locations in the city and give them a good shake and toss. My majestic creations will do the rest. Perfect. Give me a moment to work my magic, and I'll have you on your way with the finest flashing flourishes in the land. Stand back and let your majesty make magic. A pinch of this, a dash of that. Give it a shake. Voila! Your dazzlers, my faithful subject.
Move along, citizen. Move along.
For the Knights of the King! And steel.
I thought I heard the raucous cheers and playful pops of my handiwork echoing throughout the city. Tell me it was more than my imagination. Well, of course. In my experience, my loyal subjects adore being showered in the affections of their king. Oh, don't share that with the queen. I'd say our work here is done. There are other kingdoms in desperate need of our merrymaking talents, and I won't be one to let them down. Off to Ebernhardt for a royal roast. There's only one thing I trust Yoren's expertise in, and that's eating. You should join us as a guest of honor. Best not to be found conspiring against my wife anymore today. Easier to deny having ever met you when you're not standing right there, you understand. But if she happens to corner you, take our secret to the grave for your liege. Afraid? Why, I'm not afraid. I'm the king. Keeping my politically expedient queen happy is Now there's a foolish question for the ages. You're getting good at this. There are more inventive originations of the Jester's Festival than flies in Black Marsh. And bred twice as fast. I'd wager it ties closely to the discovery of drinking. Oh, my simple servant. I'm simply dressed for the occasion. Though I don't know why I didn't think to disguise myself sooner. I'd never have to worry about my wife finding me if I were an Argonian or something. Oh, so we start a rumor that I'm actually an Argonian to throw her off my trail. That's much simpler. Brilliant idea. Glad I thought of it.
Landed, and there's been fighting throughout the area.
My daughter is stationed there.
I'm busy, very busy.
Skeletons or daggers? Dry scales. I'm not sure what's worse.
His meatiness Scald King Yoren recognizes your flashiness from his visit to Daggerfall. What other tricks do you have up your sleeves, this one wonders? Just so. I am heartsick without my betrothed. What good is all this food and drink without the one you love to pick it from your teeth? But I am forbidden to see my bride-to-be until the day of our vowels. Free her from her minders, so we may grow fat together. Take a token of my love, the sickly sweet brownish flesh of mud crab apples, and she will know I sent you. The guard cannot know their king bade the absencing of his bride. Use cautiousness. This one's overlarge heart tramples in anticipation of seeing his bride-to-be. Not many have a taste for mud crab apples, but this one knows they are my sweet's favored sweetness. Her minders do not let her indulge in them freely, and it is Yoren's promise that she will eat as many as she likes when we are married. Do not let this one's joviality deceive you into believing that Yoren is elsewhere. Before you is the fearsome masher of mare and words you have heard in song and the tiny screams of scared mice. Though the heart of a Sench tiger roars within my chest, this one cannot claim to be one of those noble beasts. Yoren's habit of lying naked in the sun does not help his case, he knows. But he assures you, he is sadly a man. Have the others filled your head with foibles about this holy day? Enviness leads many to claim they lead the antics. But it was the first man who taught Mare humor. Or was it that he had the last laugh? No matter. Isgramor did everything first.
Ah, you've arrived. There's much to do. Hold there, Sarah.
Where's my pig? Who took my pig? Seen a suspicious character with a pig? No, not me!
You have brought Yorun, his bride, to me! Or does this one's eyes deceive him? He is very intoxicated. Ah, she is tasteful, is she not? I could just eat her up. Much better. Your heroics have stirred my spirits. I must savor these tenderest moments, rare as they are. Today has seen enough boorish crime. You've earned your swill, so drink your fill, and leave my bride and I to some private time, hmm? It's true her meatiness rivals that of Yoren, but his only complaint is that his bride-to-be snores so much. She is warm on the cold East March night, and never complains of crumbs in the bed. No other like her within my reach.